Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to you, dear students of the third year in English department, University of Kufa. So this is the second lecture and the second course, and we are going to tackle and we are going to continue what we have talked about in the previous lecture. So in the previous lecture, we have talked about the general structure of of the essay, and we have compared also the general structure of the paragraph and the structure of the essay, and we have said that the paragraph must have a starting point, which is the main idea, and then after that supporting ideas, then the concluding idea. And then finally we said that this topic, or we said that this let's say the essay also is the same thing, that it has the first paragraph, which is the introductory paragraph, and then we have the body paragraphs, and after that we have the concluding paragraph. Then we move to tackle one by one. In detail, and then we started with the introductory paragraph. In the introductory paragraph, there is something called thesis statement. So this thesis statement, it is like the topic sentence there in the paragraph. In the paragraph. So what's meant by the thesis statement? Thesis statement is the most important sentence in the introduction. It states the specific topic of the essay. We have said this before. So the main topic of the essay, you can know that through the thesis statement. For example, Native Americans have made many valuable contributions to modern U.S. culture. Another example, young people in my culture have less freedom than young people in the United States. So these are good examples about the thesis statement, which is to be located in the first paragraph, which is the introductory paragraph. And we have said before that this thesis statement is normally put at the end of the first paragraph. Okay, the second important point is that sometimes thesis statement lists the subtopics that will be discussed in the body. So for example, Native Americans have made many valuable contributions to modern USA culture or US culture, particularly in the areas of language, art, food, and government. So the thesis statement makes a list of the subtopics. These subtopics can be listed here. So particularly in the areas of language, art, food, and government. So these are 4 points which are considered as subtopics, which are related to the thesis statement. We have also another example. We have choice where to live, whom they marry, and what their job is. Just pay attention that when these sublists or when these subtopics are mentioned here, they are parallelized. They are in parallel. Let us say in Arabic we say بالتوازي. They are of the same thing. For example, language, art, food, government, where they live, whom they marry, and what their job is. So here noun, 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 and here a clause, and also here we have providing housing, employment, adequate sanitation services, and the like. So they should be the same thing. We cannot say that two different things are to be mentioned, things which are similar. Then we have another point, which is sometimes a thesis statement also indicates the pattern of our organization. We have discussed this before. We said what is meant by pattern of organization. It means how the essay is organized. The organization of the essay can be known through what? Through the thesis statement. Let's take an example here. That the essay will follow. Which of the following thesis statement indicates chronological order For example, look at the pattern of organization. We have three types of patterns of organization. We have chronological order, we have logical division of ideas, and we have comparison or contrast. So let us say that chronological order اللي هو التسلسل الزمني. Some essays follow chronological order, and others they follow logical division of ideas, comparison, contrast, and so forth. Okay, so when buying, for example, this is an example, when buying a used car, use these four strategies to get the price. Look, this is a thesis statement. He is saying use four strategies in order to get the best price. So as we know, through this thesis statement, how can we know what is the pattern of organization of the essay? So the strategies, four strategies, which means that this essay is a logical division of ideas. So we have four divisions here, four divisions of strategies, so the essay will be following this type of order. The second one, there are several differences between a nurse practitioner and a physician assistant. So here we are talking about a difference between a nurse and a physician. Okay, difference. Since we have a difference here, so this thesis statement indicates that the essay in which this thesis statement is included will be following a contrast comparison. So we will have the body paragraphs to be following comparison and contrast between two different things. So, and a third example, my best friend and I spent an entire summer constructing a tree house in my grandmother's old apple tree. So this one, which is the third example, it means that this essay will be following chronological order. Why? Because we have spent an entire summer. It means there is a time here. We are constructing tree in my grandmother's old apple tree. So we are going to say how it is included. So then we have here a practice one, and as you know, dear students, that this practice one, which means exercise, these exercises that you have to solve them at home. It will be an assignment for you. So the question here, I will just summarize it to you. It means I have written this to you. Indicate the pattern of organization. We have a thesis statement here from this point to this point. Okay, and you have to say what is the pattern of organization. Is it a chronological order? Is it following chronological order, or logical division of ideas, or the other one, which is the comparison contrast? So this is 1 and 2. B, I don't want this, so I have crossed this for you. Then the body paragraph, the second point here. We have said the body paragraphs are like the supporting sentences. The body paragraphs, they start from the second paragraph. As we have known, now the first paragraph is the introductory paragraph. Then the body paragraphs will be 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs. It depends on the subtopics that you are talking about here. So the body paragraph is an essay. In an essay are like the supporting sentences here in a paragraph. They are the place to develop your topic and provide your points. You should organize body paragraphs according to some sort of pattern, such as chronological order, or comparison contrast. Sometimes, depending on your topic, you will need to use a combination of a pattern. So sometimes we use a combination, but we don't use it for the time being now. But the point here in this paragraph is that the body paragraph is the place where you organize, or where the organization appears here. It is dependent on what is said in the thesis statement. So here you develop your topic. Then we have to go one by one. The first one, which is logical division of ideas, which is the first pattern of organization. The basic pattern for essay is logical division of ideas. This is the basic part. It is very important. Why it is very important? Because we will tell you about this later on. In this pattern, you divide here what do? We divide our topic into subtopics and then discuss each topic in a separate paragraph. Logical division is an appropriate pattern for explaining cause, reason. So we have to use this logical division, where to use it and when to use it. When we have cause, when we talk about an essay which discusses causes, reasons, types, kinds, qualities, methods, advantages and disadvantages, as these typical college exam questions ask you to do. So this is the most important type of essay here for you as students. Why? Because typical college exam questions ask you to do so. So in the exams of literature, of linguistics, or other subjects, you have to follow this type of logical division. Why? Because most of the times the questions that you encounter or that you face in the exam, you have to divide your topics, you have to write a thesis statement, you have then to state or indicate the subtopics that are going to be discussed in the body paragraphs. So let's take an example here. Economics. This is in economics. بالاقتصاد. For example, you have a question. Explain 3 causes of inflation. Okay, 3 causes. So this explanation, you have to make what? You have to follow this order. For example, this describe the basic types of sort, etc. Discuss the causes of the US Civil War. This is examples about discuss. So you have to follow this one. 3 keys. We have 3 important issues here. How to make the organization. Here are 3 keys to organizing a logical division essay. Number 1. We have to divide your topic into subtopics and then discuss each subtopic in a separate paragraph. You have, this is in the thesis statement. What do? We provide a thesis statement. In the thesis statement, I have to mention the subtopics which are to be followed. Okay, then these subtopics, I put an entire paragraph for each subtopic here. Number 2, write a thesis statement that indicates logical division. Okay, so here we write a thesis statement. Number 3, use transitions between paragraphs to guide your reader from one subtopic to the next. So you have to provide the transition, okay, from one subtopic to another. Thesis statements for logical division of ideas. So this is the example here, and we have to talk about this. The thesis statement of a logical division essay often indicates the number of subtopics. We have said this before. For example, let's take an example. Native Americans, we have the same example here to be repeated so that it will be, let us say, understood fully by you. Native Americans have made valuable contributions to modern U.S. culture in 4 main reasons. So this thesis statement, and I have written here 4 main areas. Culture in 4 main areas. So the main topic here, the logical or the subtopics here, we have 4 main areas. This thesis statement has 4 main areas. These 4 main areas are 4 main subtopics. I have to write 1 paragraph for 1 area, then the 2nd paragraph for the 2nd area, the 3rd for the 3rd one, and for the 4th paragraph for the 4th one, and finally we have to put a concluding paragraph. Inflation has 3 causes, so we have here 3 causes, which means we have 3 subtopics. I have to write 3 paragraphs, 3 body paragraphs. Okay, don't forget that when I say paragraphs here, I mean body paragraphs, because the introductory paragraph is something different, and we have the concluding paragraph that you have to mention your own idea, or you have to summarize what is written in the whole essay. So the thesis statement may even name the specific topic. Here we have 4 main topics or 3 causes. We have said 3, but we haven't named them. So here sometimes we name the specific topics. Let's take an example, which is the same example. Native Americans have made many valuable contributions to modern U.S. culture, particularly in the areas of language, art, food, and government. So, how many subtopics do we have? We have 4: language, art, food, and government. Okay, so I have to write a paragraph about language, and a paragraph about art, paragraph about food, and a paragraph about what? About government. So this means that I am dividing the logical ideas here. We have so many different examples, and we have sometimes used pair conjunctions. We sometimes use both and, not only, but also effective way to use these. For example, young people in my culture have less freedom than young people in the United States, not only in their choice of lifestyle, but also in their choice of careers. Okay, we have also needed both. So we have not only but also, which means that we have two subtopics: the choice of the lifestyle, this is the subtopic number 1, and in the choice of the careers, okay, this is the topic number 2. Then we have sometimes we use colon instead, useful for lists of 2 or 3 more topics. For example, if we have, this is here we use them because we have 2 subtopics, both 2 subtopics, not only 2 subtopics, but sometimes if we have more than 2 subtopics, like 3 subtopics, we use colon. For example, young people in my culture have less freedom than young people in the United States in the 3 areas where they live, whom they marry, and what their job is. So we have 3. We have put here a semicolon. We have other examples here. Notice the subtopics here. We have said this before. They should be parallelized. Okay, they should be in parallel, بالتوازي. So an example A, D, F, you see that you will find that they are nouns. Sometimes we have adjective and a noun phrase, sometimes prepositional phrases, and also we have also practice number 3. This is your assignment also. You have to check correct on thesis state that suggests logical division in a method of organization. So you have to check correct and wrong for the one which are not following logical division of ideas. You have to read them all, and you have to see which one follows the order which we have been talking about. So B, analyze the following thesis statements. We have to make an analysis to these 4 thesis statements. So what do we do? Number 1, locate the main topic and the subtopics in each of the following thesis statements. Number 2, draw a box around the topic, underline the subtopics, and draw a circle around the words or punctuation marks that introduce the subtopics. I know that you didn't understand anything from this. We are going to discuss this first example, and you are going to know how to solve this exercise. So capital punishment should be abolished, not only because it deprives another person of life, but also because it does not stop crime. So we have to write a box. This is the box. Where to write it? We have to write it on what? On the main topic. What is the main topic? Capital punishment should be abolished. This is the main topic. Then we have to underline the subtopics. Which one? Because it deprives another person of life, because it does not stop crime. So this is the first subtopic up to here. The second subtopic from because up to here. This is the second one. We have to draw a circle around the words or punctuation. We have to draw a circle on the things which are used to connect these two. We have used not only but also here in order to use them. We have also the second one. We have here the semicolon. We have to circle it, and we have to follow the same order. C, complete the following thesis statements by adding subtopics to them. Be sure to check your sentences for plural form. This is important for you, and you have here a topic. All of these are thesis statements. These are topics, and you have to write subtopics for these things. He has written here the semicolon. As you know that we have a list which is supposed to be following this, and we have semicolon here not only but also here also, which it is used here, and so on and so forth. Thesis statement pitfalls. So pitfalls here means what? It means the errors. So there are here some there are here some pitfalls. Pitfalls, which means common mistakes. We have to avoid these common mistakes. It is very important to avoid them, okay? Because writing them here, it will make the thesis statement as wrong. It will ruin the whole idea or the whole essay which you are writing. So, thesis statement is the most important sentence in our essay. So write it with a special thought and care. So we have to be careful when we write the thesis statement. Avoid these common problems. So we have 3 problems here. He's saying common problem. There are 3 problems that we have to evade them. We have to avoid them. Okay, problem number 1. Thesis statement is too general. We don't have to make the thesis statement too general. We have to make it very specific that we are going to follow. Too general here. We have a college education is a good investment. This is very general. Okay, it is a good investment. In which sense? We don't know. Here it is improved. They have fixed this. Let's see how it is fixed. A college education is a good investment for 4 reasons. Look, he has written here for 4 reasons. Why? And this will refer that this is logical division of ideas that we are going to write, and with the body paragraphs will be only 4 paragraphs. Okay, so here we have the second one. This is too general. Lasers are very useful. It should be fixed and improved. Lasers have several applications in industry and medicine. Look, several applications here. This means that there are specific applications in industry and in medicine. Problem number 2. The thesis makes a simple announcement. It should not make a simple announcement. Okay, like this announcement: I am going to write about sports injuries. This is not a thesis statement. This is an announcement that you are going to say. It should be improved, and you should say that avoid sports injuries by taking a few simple precautions. Few simple precautions that you are going to follow these precautions. Okay, this is the improved one. We have also problem number 3, which is the thesis statement states an obvious fact. Avoid an obvious fact. Don't write an obvious fact. Nothing will be added to you. The internet is a communication superhighway. The improved one: the explosion of the internet has had both positive and negative consequences. Look, we have to have positive and negative consequences. This means that we are going to have a contrast comparison with an essay, which is comparing the negative and positive these things. Look, practice number 2: writing logical division thesis statements. What do you do here? You have clothing, hair or shoe styles in your school. 3 styles here. You have 3 styles. What do? You have to write a thesis statement about this idea. This is an idea here. You have to write a thesis statement. Also, and at the end of the chapter, you can use these points, or you can use these 5 points, 5 ideas, in order to write good essays about them. So the second one: dangerous automobile driver, like speeders, cell phone users, teens. Also, they can be used here. Okay, and transition signals, it will be for the next lecture. And I hope you enjoyed this lecture. See you next week. Thank you so much.